Let me tell you something that might just shift your entire perspective on where you are right now. Delay is not denial, it's divine preparation. See, when life puts you on hold, when your prayers seem to echo into silence, when every door you knock on stays shut, that's not rejection, that's redirection, that's not punishment, it's preparation. We live in a world that worships speed. We want success now, we want breakthrough now, we want love, money, healing, purpose now. But the truth is, instant success often collapses because the person receiving it isn't ready to hold it. You don't get to carry a blessing that your character can't sustain. Think about it. If you hand $1 million to someone who doesn't understand discipline, they'll lose it. If you give influence to someone who hasn't built integrity, they'll abuse it. If you hand love to someone who hasn't healed, they'll destroy it. That's why God delays, not to frustrate you, but to prepare you. Delay is where strength is forged. Delay is where wisdom matures. Delay is where your faith is tested and proven. You're not waiting because you're being punished. You're waiting because something bigger is being built in you. Maybe you've been praying for that promotion. You've been faithful, you've been showing up, and still nothing's moving. You start to wonder, did I miss my shot? But what if the delay is the very thing qualifying you for what's next? What if God is developing the kind of leader who won't just handle the title, but carry the responsibility? Some of you are asking for a platform, but God's saying, I'm building your foundation. You're asking for visibility, but he's building stability. You're asking for influence, but he's building resilience. The preparation season feels uncomfortable because you can't see the progress. It's like the seed buried underground. There's movement happening, just not where you can see it. That's how divine timing works. It looks like nothing is happening, but in reality, everything is. And you know what separates those who break through from those who give up? Trust. The ability to trust that even in silence, even in delay, even when the calendar mocks your prayers, God is still working behind the curtain. You've got to stop interpreting delay as defeat. Just because it's taking longer than you thought doesn't mean it's not coming. Some blessings require longer incubation because they carry greater impact. You can't microwave destiny. It has to be marinated in purpose. There's a reason your plans didn't go the way you wanted. There's a reason the relationship ended. There's a reason the door closed. And maybe the reason isn't punishment. It's protection. Sometimes God delays your arrival to keep you from premature exposure. Because if you get there too soon, the weight of the blessing could crush you. So instead of asking, why is it taking so long? Start asking, what is this delay trying to teach me? Because every delay is a classroom for your soul. It's where your faith graduates. It's where your character deepens. It's where you learn to stand when everything in you wants to sit down. Look back at your life. How many times did you think it was over, only to realize later it was a setup for something greater? That note turned into a better opportunity. That heartbreak led you to healing. That closed door pushed you to build your own. You didn't lose. You learned. The delay didn't deny you. It defined you. It refined your faith. It built your endurance. It strengthened your roots. You're not behind, you're being aligned. So when it feels like nothing's happening, I want you to remember this. Delay doesn't mean God forgot you. It means he's preparing everything for you. The right timing, the right people, the right opportunity, the right version of you. Because when divine preparation meets divine timing, everything shifts. Suddenly, what took years to form becomes a moment of breakthrough. You step into places you once only dreamed about, and you'll realize this is why it took so long. It wasn't a delay. It was design. It wasn't a detour. It was direction. It wasn't denial. It was divine preparation. You weren't waiting for the blessing. The blessing was waiting for you to be ready for it. So stand firm. Stay faithful. Keep growing. Because when the season shifts, and you'll look back and thank God that he didn't give it to you when you asked for it. You'll thank him for every delay that built the version of you who could finally receive it. Because in the end, you'll see that the delay wasn't the enemy of your destiny. It was the architect of it. Delay is not denial. It's divine preparation for what you've prayed for. Too often, when life slows down or doors don't open as fast as we expect, we assume something is wrong. We think we've been forgotten, that maybe we're not good enough, or that our prayers have gone unanswered. But the truth is, delay isn't God saying no. It's him saying not yet. It's not rejection, it's refinement. It's the process of aligning you with the very thing you've been asking for. Because if you got everything you prayed for exactly when you asked for it, it might destroy you, not develop you. You can't receive a blessing you're not prepared to carry, and divine preparation is what turns a delay into destiny. When life makes you wait, it's not standing still. It's building something inside you. The waiting season is not wasted. It's sacred time where God shapes your patience, builds your endurance, strengthens your mindset, and matures your spirit. You're being developed to sustain what you've been praying for. Think about it. A seed doesn't grow the moment it's planted. It's buried, hidden, unseen. But underground, transformation is happening. The roots are spreading. The foundation is forming. Before a tree grows upward, it must grow downward. The delay is the depth being established so the growth can last. That's how divine preparation works. You may not see progress, but there's purpose in the unseen. So many people give up in the delay because they mistake silence for abandonment. They think because God isn't moving at their pace, he's not moving at all. But the delay is not idle. It's intentional. It's in the delay that you learn who you are without the applause, without the outcome, without the comfort of certainty. It's in the delay that your motives are purified. Are you chasing the blessing or are you trusting the blesser? Because God won't promote you beyond your capacity to trust him. He won't give you something that will pull you away from him. The delay ensures that when the door finally opens, your heart is ready to walk through it with humility, gratitude, and strength. Sometimes the delay is the protection you didn't know you needed. What you're asking for might be good, but the timing could still be wrong. A good thing at the wrong time becomes a bad thing. Maybe the relationship you wanted wasn't ready to love you right. Maybe that business deal you prayed for would have crumbled because you didn't have the structure to sustain it. Maybe that platform you wanted would have exposed insecurities that still needed healing. The delay protects you from what you can't yet see. It's divine timing saving you from unnecessary pain. Because when you rush what's divine, you compromise what's destined. Preparation seasons are uncomfortable because they feel like nothing is working. You'll see others succeed faster, and comparison will whisper that you're behind. But what looks like delay to you might actually be acceleration in disguise. God's not just preparing the blessing for you, he's preparing you for the blessing. He's aligning the right people, the right circumstances, the right opportunities. He's closing doors that would have distracted you and opening ones that will direct you. He's shaping your mind to handle more, strengthening your character to withstand more, and expanding your capacity to receive more. You think it's a delay, but it's divine choreography. Every moment is moving in sync toward your breakthrough. When you understand that delay is divine preparation, your entire perspective shifts. You stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what is this preparing me for? That question unlocks growth because now, instead of resisting the process, you lean into it. You stop fighting the waiting and start mastering it. You realize that every challenge, every delay, every pause is part of a bigger blueprint. You see that the struggle is not the opposite of success. It's the foundation of it. The delay is teaching you discipline. It's teaching you how to hold on when things don't go your way. It's showing you how to keep your faith when the evidence doesn't line up. It's building spiritual muscle so when the blessing arrives, you can handle the weight of it without breaking. This is why divine preparation takes time. Growth isn't instant. Mastery isn't immediate. Becoming who you're meant to be doesn't happen overnight. It requires seasons of obscurity where nobody claps for you. Seasons of frustration where nothing makes sense, seasons of silence where you have to believe without proof. It's in those hidden places that the real transformation happens. The waiting room of life is where champions are forged. It's where dreams are refined, not denied. It's where faith graduates from words to reality. And when the time finally comes, when everything aligns and the blessing manifests, you'll understand why it took so long. You'll see that the delay was never God withholding from you. It was him building you. Think about the butterfly. Before it can soar, it must endure the cocoon. Inside that tight, dark space, it struggles, it waits, it transforms. If you try to cut the cocoon open early, you destroy the butterfly because the struggle is what gives its wings strength. The delay is not punishment, it's power being developed in private. You are in your cocoon season, not stuck, not forgotten, but being equipped. Every trial, every disappointment, every not yet is adding strength to your wings. When the time is right, you'll emerge ready to fly, not crawl. So when life delays you, don't lose faith. When doors don't open, don't assume denial. When progress feels slow, remember it's still progress. Divine preparation always feels slower than human desire, but it produces results that last longer than human effort. You're not missing out. You're being made ready. The delay is your training ground, your proving ground, your refining fire. Because destiny doesn't happen by luck. It happens by preparation. And divine preparation takes as long as it needs to. Because what's being built in you is bigger than what's being delayed around you. You're not being punished in the waiting. You're being prepared to handle the blessing. The waiting season is one of the most misunderstood yet most powerful phases of your life. When nothing seems to move, when doors won't open, when prayers seem unanswered, the mind jumps to conclusions. Maybe God's upset. Maybe you've done something wrong. Maybe you've been forgotten. But what if this waiting isn't punishment at all? What if it's placement? What if the waiting room is the very place where you're being strengthened to sustain the weight of what's coming next? Because every blessing carries weight, and only those who've been prepared can hold it without breaking. The truth is, preparation often feels like punishment. Growth rarely feels glamorous. It feels like being stretched beyond comfort, like being stripped of control, like watching everyone else move forward while you stand still. But that's what refinement feels like. When you pray for increase, you're also praying for the capacity to handle it. When you praying for greater impact, you're praying for greater endurance. When you ask for blessings, you're asking for the ability to sustain them. And that's where preparation begins, in the quiet, unseen spaces where God works on your character before he puts you on display. Waiting doesn't mean nothing is happening. It means something deeper is happening. You're being reshaped, rebuilt, redefined. You're learning patience, discipline, gratitude, and humility, qualities that success demands. Because success without maturity leads to self-destruction. The preparation is the safeguard. It ensures that when the door opens, you walk through it with wisdom, not ego. You handle favor with grace, not pride. You steward blessings with humility, not entitlement. The waiting season purifies your motives. It exposes what needs healing. It reveals whether you truly want the blessing or you just want validation. That's not punishment. That's transformation. You see, sometimes God slows you down not because he's taking something from you, but because he's adding something to you. He's adding clarity to your vision, strength to your character, resilience to your faith. He's adding depth where you've only been focused on height. We often crave elevation, but without depth, elevation leads to collapse. That's why God works underground first. The foundation must be laid before the structure rises. So while you're in the waiting season, God is pouring concrete into your soul, firming your values, anchoring your identity, solidifying your purpose. Because when the winds of life blow, it's not the height of your dream that keeps you standing. It's the depth of your preparation. Many people rush to the next level because they're tired of waiting. They grab at opportunities before they're ready. They chase relationships before they're healed. They start businesses before they've learned discipline. And when it all falls apart, they call it failure, when in truth, it was premature exposure. The blessing came too early. You can't carry a crown built for a version of you that doesn't exist yet. The waiting is what builds that version. It's what turns potential into strength. So when it feels like everything's delayed, understand that God isn't holding you back. He's holding you together. Preparation happens in silence. Nobody claps for you in the waiting room. Nobody celebrates the unseen growth. And yet that's where the most powerful transformation takes place. It's in the nights of uncertainty where your faith deepens. It's in the setbacks where your resolve strengthens. It's in the solitude where you rediscover who you really are. Waiting teaches you to rely on something greater than your plans. It breaks the illusion of control and reminds you that life moves on divine timing, not human impatience. You learn that what's meant for you will not require manipulation. It will require maturity. And maturity only comes through waiting. Waiting tests your endurance. It reveals your true intentions. It forces you to choose faith over fear, discipline over desperation, and trust over frustration. The longer you wait, the more you're being shaped into someone capable of carrying more. Think about how a diamond is formed under intense pressure, in darkness, over time. Nobody rushes that process because if you interfere too soon, you end up with something fragile and unfinished. The same goes for you. The pressure, the waiting, the silence, it's producing something rare inside you. You're not being buried by delay, you're being developed by it. There's a powerful shift that happens when you stop seeing waiting as wasted time and start seeing it as divine training, because when you're waiting with purpose, you're still moving internally. You're growing patience when everything around you says hurry. You're building faith when there's no visible sign of change. You're learning contentment while still believing for more. That's not stagnation. That's elevation in disguise. The waiting season becomes the gym for your soul. Every delay builds strength. Every silence builds trust. Every disappointment builds resilience. Maybe the reason you're still waiting is because the blessing you asked for is still growing too. Maybe the people connected to your destiny aren't ready yet. Maybe the opportunity you're meant to step into is still being built. Divine timing requires everything to align perfectly. The right place, the right moment. You don't want to arrive too early and miss what's meant for you. You want to arrive ready to sustain, ready to lead, ready to receive without breaking. The waiting ensures that readiness. And let's be honest, preparation is uncomfortable. It will stretch you, test you, and sometimes break you down to rebuild you stronger. You'll question your path, your purpose, even your prayers. But that's what growth looks like. You can't be stretched without tension. You can't be molded without heat. You can't be elevated without endurance. Every great story, every strong leader, every successful person has gone through a season where it felt like nothing was working. But that's where everything was being built. The waiting room is where warriors are born. It's where confidence is forged, not in applause, but in adversity. If you're in that place right now, feeling like your life is on pause, remember that pause has purpose. You're not stuck, you're being shaped. The waiting is producing endurance, clarity, and strength that you'll need for the next chapter. God isn't preparing the blessing to impress you. He's preparing you to handle it. Because the greater the blessing, the greater the preparation required. If you're waiting longer, it's because what's coming is larger. The process isn't punishment. It's proof that something significant is on the way. So keep showing up. Keep doing the work that nobody sees. Keep trusting that the delay is divine. Because one day, when the blessing arrives, and the weight of it rests on your shoulders, you'll realize why the preparation mattered. You'll look back at the waiting and see it for what it really was, not punishment, not delay, but divine preparation sculpting you into the person capable of carrying the very thing you once prayed for God's not yet is often protection, not rejection. When life doesn't give you what you want when you want it, your first instinct might be to think you've been denied, forgotten, or overlooked. It's easy to believe that a closed door means failure or that a delayed prayer means silence from above. But what if that not yet is actually a shield? What if it's divine protection wrapped in temporary disappointment? Because sometimes the very thing you're begging for could break you if it came too soon. Sometimes the path you're praying to walk would lead to pain if you took it unprepared. And what feels like rejection in the moment is actually a loving hand steering you away from destruction. There are moments in life when we think we know exactly what's best for us. We pray with passion, we plan with precision, and we're ready to move. But we don't see what's ahead the way God does. We don't see the traps hidden in opportunity, the wrong people attached to the right plans, the lessons we haven't learned yet. His not yet is not a no, it's a wait, because he knows the timing, the alignment, and the version of you that's required to make that dream sustainable. We want speed. He wants strength. We crave arrival. He cares about preparation. We want what looks good now. He wants what will still be good later. That's why his not yet is an act of mercy, not rejection. Every closed door carries a hidden message. Sometimes it's not that you're unworthy. It's that you're being redirected. The relationship that didn't work out might have looked perfect on the surface, but maybe it would have distracted you from your purpose. The opportunity that slipped away might have seemed ideal, but maybe it would have stretched you beyond what you were ready for. Every divine delay has a layer of protection in it, even if it hurts. God doesn't withhold to punish. He withholds to prepare. He doesn't say not yet to disappoint you. He says it to develop you into someone who can receive the blessing and keep it. Think about how a parent protects a child. A loving parent doesn't hand their kid the car keys before they know how to drive. They don't give them freedom before they understand responsibility. The parent isn't rejecting the child's desire. They're protecting them from danger. It's the same with divine timing. When God says not yet, it's because he knows that premature access leads to unnecessary pain. He sees what's ahead and adjusts the path, not to block your blessing, but to build your readiness. The delay isn't denial. It's direction disguised as disappointment. Rejection hurts because we personalize it. We think it means we're not enough, not talented enough, not worthy enough. But that's a lie that steals peace and blinds you from seeing purpose. Rejection is not a reflection of your worth. It's a reflection of God's wisdom. It's his way of saying, I have something better. Every no is clearing space for a greater, whereas every not yet is making room for something that fits you better, something that won't fall apart under pressure. You may not see it now, but you will later when you look back and realize that closed doors saved your soul from shortcuts that would have cost your destiny. God's not yet is also a test of trust. It's easy to have faith when everything aligns, but real faith is built in the gap between promise and fulfillment. It's built in the silence, in the space where you don't see results, but choose to believe anyway. The waiting tests your patience, but it also deepens your faith. It asks you one powerful question. Do you trust the process even when you don't understand it? Because that's where peace is found, not in knowing every detail, but in trusting that the one guiding you knows exactly what he's doing. So many people chase what glitters and call it opportunity, but not everything that shines is divine. Some doors open to distract you, not develop you. Some connections appear attractive but come with unseen costs. Some shortcuts promise progress but lead to collapse. That's why divine protection sometimes looks like rejection. It's God saying, I see what you can't see. You might see a blessing, he sees a burden. You might see progress, he sees a pitfall. You might see your plan, he sees your purpose. And his not yet is a way of guarding what's sacred inside you. It takes maturity to thank God for the doors that didn't open. Because hindsight always reveals what emotion hides. The job you didn't get made room for the one that aligned perfectly with your calling. The person who walked away freed space for real love to find you. The opportunity that fell through gave you time to build something on your own. The delay that once broke your heart became the very thing that built your strength. You start realizing that what you thought was rejection was actually divine redirection towards something greater than you imagined. There's a rhythm to divine timing that doesn't operate on your schedule. When you force things outside of that rhythm, they crumble. You can't accelerate what's meant to unfold gradually. There's power in the pause. There's protection in the wait. When God says, not yet, it's because he's still aligning details, refining your character, or clearing obstacles that would block your blessing. You might not understand the wait now, but you'll understand the wisdom later. Sometimes what feels like delay is actually God rearranging things behind the scenes, preparing the right people, opportunities, and conditions so when the moment arrives, it all fits perfectly. The truth is, you don't need to know why God says, not yet. You just need to trust that it's not random. Every delay has design. Every unanswered prayer carries intention. Every not yet is an investment in your future. It's teaching you patience, building your faith, stretching your resilience. The waiting is training you to stand firm when the blessing finally comes, so you won't crumble under its weight. What feels like distance is actually divine closeness, a quiet act of protection from things you don't yet see. There are seasons where you'll cry out, why not now? And the only answer you'll sense is silence. That silence isn't neglect, it's strategy. God works quietly in the spaces where you can't see, building doors you haven't imagined. The same silence that frustrates you is the space where your miracle is being formed. When you stop fighting the not yet and start trusting that peace replaces panic. You stop needing to control every outcome and start aligning yourself with divine timing. Because when the time is right, it won't feel forced. It will flow. It won't confuse you. It will confirm you. It won't take you away from peace. It will bring you deeper into it. The not yet seasons are sacred because they separate what's meant for you from what's not. They teach you to discern between good and God, between what's convenient and what's correct. They teach you that waiting isn't weakness, it's wisdom. Because not every opportunity is meant to be seized immediately. Some are meant to be prepared for. God's not yet is never to keep you small, it's to make sure you're strong enough to handle the expansion that's coming. The waiting doesn't waste you, it shapes you. The pause doesn't punish you, it positions you. And one day you'll look back and realize that his not yet was never rejection. It was divine protection guiding you exactly where you were meant to be. Every delay builds character, faith, and endurance for your next level. Life isn't designed to hand us success on a silver platter. Every significant breakthrough, every meaningful achievement, every life-changing opportunity comes through a process. That process often involves waiting, stretching, struggling, and refining. The delays you face are not random. They are purposeful. They are the training grounds for the version of you that is about to rise. Each pause, each setback, each moment of frustration is preparing you to handle what's coming next. If you don't allow yourself to embrace the waiting, you'll never fully step into your next level. Character is forged in the furnace of delay. When things move fast and everything comes easily, there's no test, there's no push to grow beyond comfort. But when doors remain closed, when promotions don't happen, when dreams feel paused, that's when your character is revealed and strengthened. Do you react with patience or frustration? Do you trust the process or fight against it? Delay exposes the gaps in your resilience and forces you to fill them. It's easy to stay humble and disciplined when life rewards you immediately. The real test comes when the reward is delayed and you must remain faithful anyway. That's the crucible where character is built, where your inner strength becomes unshakable, and where your preparation becomes unmistakable. Faith grows during the delay. When prayers aren't answered as quickly as we expect, it's easy to doubt, to question, to lose hope. But faith isn't proven in moments of certainty, it's proven in moments of uncertainty. Every time you continue to trust, to believe, to act even when results aren't visible, you are exercising faith muscles that will carry you through your next level. The delay forces you to lean on God, to rely on divine guidance, and to operate in belief even when evidence is absent. This is the kind of faith that doesn't crumble under pressure, that doesn't waver when challenges arise, that doesn't panic when obstacles appear. Delay strengthens faith so that when the next level arrives, you walk in confident, unwavering, and prepared. Endurance is another gift of delay. Life's next level often comes with more responsibility, more pressure, more visibility. You can't be promoted to higher levels without the stamina to sustain them. Delays build endurance by asking you to keep going when you'd rather quit. They build mental toughness by asking you to stay committed when nothing seems to be working. They build emotional resilience by asking you to remain patient when frustration is high. Endurance is not built in moments of ease. It is forged in moments of waiting, in seasons of struggle, and in challenges that test your limits. Every delay is an opportunity to exercise endurance so that when your breakthrough comes, you're not overwhelmed but ready to thrive. When you experience delay, perspective shifts. You begin to see setbacks not as failures, but as steps toward growth. You start understanding that every pause has a purpose, every closed door has a lesson, and every obstacle is a building block for your future. Instead of focusing on what hasn't happened yet, you begin to focus on who you're becoming in the meantime. You notice the skills you're developing, the patience you're learning, and the wisdom you're gaining. Delay becomes a teacher, molding you into a person capable of sustaining more, achieving more, and handling your next level with grace and confidence. Every delay also teaches strategy. When things don't happen on your timeline, you have time to refine your approach, learn from mistakes, and gain clarity about what truly matters. You're forced to look inward, to evaluate your plans, and to strengthen your skills. Instead of rushing blindly toward a goal, you learn to move with intention, to align effort with purpose, and to act with precision. Delays allow you to sharpen your vision and prepare for challenges that you haven't even encountered yet. They give you the opportunity to anticipate obstacles, plan ahead, and position yourself strategically for your next level. The next level often requires patience. Growth takes time, and timing is everything. You can't skip steps without consequences. Each delay ensures that when you arrive, you are not only ready, but capable of handling the responsibility and impact that comes with advancement. People often desire results without understanding the process. They want promotion without preparation, success without struggle, and breakthrough without refinement. Delays remind us that the journey is as important as the destination. They make sure that we are equipped, prepared, and mature enough to hold the blessings coming our way. Delay also builds appreciation. When everything comes easily, it's easy to take it for granted. But when you've waited, worked, struggled, and persevered, the reward becomes sweeter, more meaningful, and more deeply valued. You learn not to rush the process because you understand that preparation seasons are shaping your perspective, gratitude, and ability to steward what's given to you. Every moment of waiting contributes to a greater sense of fulfillment when your next level arrives. You don't just achieve, you understand, you appreciate, and you maximize what you've earned. Your next level is not just about external achievement, it's about internal growth. The delay forces you to become the person who can handle the position, the platform, the influence, and the opportunity that is coming. It's not enough to desire success. You must be prepared to manage it. You must cultivate humility, wisdom, and emotional intelligence. You must strengthen resilience, patience, and faith. Delays ensure that when the breakthrough arrives, it's sustainable, impactful, and transformational, not fleeting or destructive. The waiting season is also a test of focus. It asks you to stay committed to your purpose even when progress seems slow. It challenges you to prioritize what truly matters and discard distractions that do not align with your next level. Delay teaches discernment, showing you what is essential versus what is temporary, what serves your vision versus what hinders it. It sharpens your ability to focus on long-term gains rather than short-term gratification. Each delay trains you to maintain clarity and direction even when circumstances seem uncertain. In the end, delay is a blessing in disguise. Every pause, every setback, every moment of frustration is not meant to stop you, but to shape you. Character, faith, and endurance are built through waiting. These qualities are what separate those who achieve their next level from those who falter when opportunity finally arrives. The waiting room is not a place of stagnation. It is a crucible for greatness. Each delay strengthens you, teaches you, and equips you for the breakthrough that is coming. The next level is not just about reaching a goal, It is about becoming someone who can thrive at that level, and delay is the invisible architect shaping that person. Embrace the waiting. Lean into the pause. Trust that every delay is intentional, every setback is instructive, and every challenge is an opportunity for growth. The next level is on the horizon, and it will require a person who is resilient, patient, disciplined, and ready. Delay is not your enemy. It is the essential preparation for your breakthrough. The longer the delay, the stronger the character, the deeper the faith, and the greater the endurance you are building. And each of these is a key ingredient in the recipe for your next level. The blessing isn't late. It's aligning with the version of you that's ready to receive it. Too often, we look at life's pauses and think that something is wrong, that we've been forgotten, that God is taking too long. We check our calendars. We compare ourselves to others, and we begin to question our worth. But timing is never random. The universe, divine will, God's plan, whatever you call it, operates on alignment, not speed. A blessing is never late. It simply arrives when you are fully prepared to carry it. The moment you receive it, everything in you, everything around you, and everything within your path is synchronized to sustain it, to maximize it, and to honor it. Alignment is more than just being in the right place at the right time. It's about being the right person at the right time. You cannot handle what you are not ready for. You cannot steward a breakthrough if your character, mindset, and spirit are unprepared. That's why waiting seasons exist. They are not delays. They are developmental periods. They are periods in which your skills, your patience, your faith, your emotional intelligence, and your capacity to handle responsibility are being strengthened. Divine timing always prioritizes preparation over haste because the blessing must meet the right version of you. Many people are ready for the idea of success, but not for the reality of it. They are ready for recognition, but not for responsibility. They are ready for applause, but not for accountability. They are ready for the reward, but not for the weight that comes with it. That is why blessings appear late, not because they are missing, not because you are missing, but because the alignment hasn't been completed. It's about synchronizing your heart, mind, actions, and spirit so that when the moment comes, you don't just receive, you thrive. You don't just achieve, you grow. You don't just succeed, you inspire. Divine timing teaches patience, a lesson most people resist. We want instant gratification, instant recognition, instant results. But patience is not simply waiting. Patience is growing while you wait. Patience is developing endurance, character, and wisdom during the silence. It is being steadfast in your purpose, disciplined in your actions, and faithful in your faith even when outcomes are unseen. Patience ensures that when the blessing finally arrives, it doesn't overwhelm you. Patience ensures that your readiness matches the reward. Patience transforms delay into a masterclass of preparation. Faith is another element that aligns with readiness. Faith is what carries you through periods when everything seems stagnant. Faith allows you to trust the process, to believe without evidence, and to act even when the outcome is uncertain. It is faith that sustains you during waiting seasons. Faith keeps you moving when the world tells you to give up. Faith develops the internal strength that ensures the moment of breakthrough isn't wasted. Every act of faith is a step toward alignment. Every choice to trust is a step toward readiness. And every moment you refuse to quit is a brick in the foundation of your future. Character is built in the shadows before the spotlight. When the blessing seems late, it is because your character is still being refined. Integrity, humility, courage, and perseverance, these are the qualities that enable you to handle more than you can imagine. Without them, even the most impressive opportunity can become a burden. Divine timing ensures that your internal development matches the external breakthrough. It ensures that when doors open, you walk through them with clarity, with confidence, and with the capacity to steward what has been entrusted to you. The blessing is never late. It is waiting for your maturity. Your experiences, your struggles, your setbacks, all of them are part of this alignment. Every challenge you've faced, every disappointment you've endured, every no you've received has been a preparation for the, oh yes, that's coming. Life's obstacles are not detours from your destiny. They are deliberate steps within it. Each test strengthens your resolve, sharpens your focus, and expands your perspective. They teach lessons that cannot be learned in comfort, and they cultivate resilience that cannot be forged in ease. The alignment of your life is not just about timing, it's about transformation. Clarity also comes through alignment. When a blessing finally arrives, it is unmistakable because everything fits. The people, the place, the opportunity, and your own readiness are synchronized. You recognize the moment because it resonates with your growth, with your purpose, and with the lessons you've learned. Nothing feels out of place. Nothing feels forced. Nothing overwhelms you. That is why the blessing appears right when it does. Not a moment too soon, not a moment too late. It coincides with the maturity you've gained, the faith you've built, and the preparation you've completed. Many fail to understand that timing and alignment are inseparable. You can pray for something, work for something, and believe in something, but if your heart and mind are not aligned with the timing of its arrival, it can slip past you. Alignment ensures that the energy you carry, the choices you make, and the person you become are all compatible with the blessing. It's a harmonious intersection of preparation and opportunity. When alignment is complete, the blessing does not feel abrupt. It feels inevitable. It feels like a natural, undeniable, and perfect continuation of your journey. Gratitude grows in alignment. When the blessing arrives in its proper time, it is received with appreciation rather than entitlement. You understand its value, its purpose, and its impact. You respect what you've been through to earn it and cherish the readiness that allowed you to sustain it. That is why divine timing not only protects the blessing, but amplifies its meaning. It ensures that when you step into what you've been waiting for, you do so with humility, wisdom, and perspective that maximizes its impact. Opportunities that arrive too early can overwhelm or derail you. When blessings come before readiness, they often become burdens. Success can create stress, responsibility can produce anxiety, and growth without preparation can lead to collapse. Alignment solves this problem. The blessing is delivered in perfect harmony with your capabilities, your mindset, and your character. When the timing matches your readiness, you are not just receiving the blessing, you are equipped to thrive in it, to expand it, and to leverage it for your next stage of growth. Alignment also ensures sustainability. Temporary success is easy to achieve. Lasting success requires preparation. The delay allows you to build systems, habits, and mindsets that support growth over time. The delay teaches discipline, strengthens perseverance, and cultivates resilience. By the time the blessing arrives, it doesn't just change your life temporarily, it transforms your trajectory permanently. Divine timing ensures that what you receive is not fleeting, it is enduring, impactful, and aligned with your destiny. Finally, the blessing's arrival validates the process. Looking back, you see how every delay, every trial, every moment of doubt was part of a carefully orchestrated plan. You recognize that the waiting was never wasted. The struggles, setbacks, and pauses were the instruments of alignment, shaping you into someone capable of sustaining the gift, thriving in opportunity, and stepping into the next stage of life fully prepared. The blessing is not late. It is perfectly timed to meet the version of you that is ready, refined, and fully aligned to receive it